Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another very special, as always, episode of the Hyperconscious Podcast. We hope you enjoyed our latest episode where one of my clients and becoming a good friend, John Laredo, joined us for a live mastermind to talk about the 6 things you can do today to make yourself a better leader.
Thank you, John.
Yeah, thank you, John. It was fire. Today, for episode number 423, we are going to take you guys through the Alignment Audit. So, wow, what does that mean?
That's a great name. It's a great name. The Alignment Audit.
Not the response I expected, really. I expected like maybe you to go like, woo, and get fired up about it.
Yeah.
You just looked at me like I had 3 heads.
The Alignment Audit. What does that mean?
What does
Let's
that
provide some context. I just had all these things I wanted to say in my head, and you broke my pattern.
I'm sorry.
No, you're good. You're good. We gotta mix it up. Okay, so what is the Alignment Audit? So we've got up on the whiteboard here 5 main things. But first, why are we doing this episode? Whether you are in alignment with your highest self or in alignment with a business partner or in alignment with a intimate partner or a friend, we've all been in a room. I want you to picture a time when you've been in an environment in a room with persons, places, things, or ideas that are outside of alignment. And afterwards you feel icky or tingy or, make up words.
Just add any Y to the end of any word. Wingy. Could be feeling Bobby. All right, sorry.
Oh, you're funny today, man. I like it.
It's because I'm exhausted.
It's going to be a good day.
That's why.
So imagine you are leaving an environment where it felt off. It just didn't feel within alignment. So there are 5 reasons why that could be. And I've been doing a lot of work with my clients, with Kevin, with myself, with Emilia on alignment because when something feels off, it's just an indicator that something needs to change, either in your perception or your behavior. But here are the 5 buckets of the alignment audit. Number 1, your state. Number 2, your goals. Number 3, your behaviors. Number 4, your core values. And then number 5, your beliefs. So we'll use Kevin and I as an example, as we often do. So let's say, Kevin and I believe, are such great business partners and friends because we're so in alignment, okay? And we've talked about that before, but not from this lens, this framework. So let's say Kevin and I are both in a resourceful state, laughing, joking, having fun, like we are right now.
Yeah.
Let's say we have common goals to add value to you right now on this episode as much as possible. Let's say our behaviors are in alignment. In other words, he's podcasting on the mic, so am I. Our core values are in alignment in terms of who we are, whether or not we want to swear, whether or not we want to show up in a certain regard, in a certain way. And then our beliefs in terms of how to actually effectively communicate to all of you listening. That's a circumstance, a present moment that is in alignment. Whereas I'm sure you've heard Kevin and myself off and out of alignment before, because there was something we were unaware of happening in the room. Maybe I was late earlier that day, or maybe, he had said something to me and I wasn't listening, or something like that. So
2 Marines, 1 Mike.
Oh, yeah.
Go back to that. I don't remember what episode that was, but
I swore a little more than usual.
We were both off. Our states.
Yep.
I would say both of our states were probably, I think we had the same, it's interesting. Just to give context, the other day, Alan and I were in the studio and we were talking about why do we work so well together?
Yeah.
And the answer we came to is because we have the same goal at all given times, not just whether it's podcasting, whether it's coaching, whether it's speaking, whether it's any of that. Our goal is to be the best men we can be.
Yeah.
And that guides us. So everything else is kind of like a bonus.
And it makes challenges a good thing.
Yes.
Because challenges spark a conversation, which sparks a deeper understanding of ourselves and how to be better men. Yeah. And anytime, if I look back on our toughest conversations, it was always when we had one of these out of alignment. So, for example, a core value. I remember when you and Taryn were together and I was single, you and I had a deep talk about women and dating and all of that. And it was really hard because, we both had to reflect on our past. And
oh, it was terrible.
Yeah.
It was a hard one.
And then we got into alignment because Kevin brought to my sense of awareness something new that I hadn't seen before from my perception of self that made me want to be better. So all you did really was raise my awareness, and then we cried it out, and we both, after that interaction, wanted to be better, and then also had a deeper understanding on how to do that. And so if you're out there right now, the main point of this episode is alignment. If you're outside of alignment with your highest self, let's say, for example, you have a goal to lose 20 pounds. But yet you're overeating every day. Your behavior is outside of alignment with that goal. Let's say you have a goal to start a podcast, but yet you have a belief that you can't be a good podcaster. That's outside of alignment. So what the alignment audit is for all of you to ask the following 5 questions. Number 1, am I consistently and sustainably in resourceful states? Number 2, are my goals in alignment with my highest self? Are my behaviors in alignment with those goals? Are my core values in alignment with those behaviors and those goals? And are my beliefs getting me closer or farther away from those goals? All of us at any given time are sort of running this in the background energetically. And I think a lot of times I notice people have inner civil war. Like last night I was at my mom's 60th birthday. Shout out. My mom is 60 now.
Happy birthday, Mom.
And we had a blast, and there was a lot of drinking at that party, which is fine, but I have a goal to not drink. My behavior is to not drink. My core value is that alcohol is bad because it's caused a lot of people I love suffering, including me. And I have a belief. Again, I just said my belief. My belief is that alcohol has caused more suffering. Honestly, I believe alcohol has caused more suffering on this planet than probably any other substance, honestly. And so that's my belief. Now, I stayed in alignment with my highest self by staying in a resourceful state, making sure I had good sleep, making sure I had my water bottle on me so that if I had the urge to drink, I would drink my water. And Emilia was there, and she knows my goal is not to drink, so she supported me as well. And honestly, the environment supported my not drinking too, which was really cool because they all know that was a goal of mine. So if you're out there right now, you've been in environments that don't support your goals. They probably don't support your core values. They definitely don't support the behaviors that support those goals and core values. And then maybe you have a belief on some level that you won't be loved if you really, were to be in alignment.
I'm going to hit you with a humdinger.
Yeah.
I'm going to hit you with a humdinger. First, story time.
Okay.
So Alan was talking about how we had that tough conversation.
Oh, yeah.
And I remember, we always talk about this. I was like, first of all, when Alan gets like mad or sad, he gets very red. And he was sitting in the passenger seat. And we were in California driving down the highway on the way to our hotel. And we were just talking about some stuff. And I remember saying...
It's not a nice hotel.
It was not a nice hotel.
Next to a Hooters.
Not ideal.
Yeah.
It was literally next to a Hooters, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Close to the gym, though. That's honestly, we didn't even care about the Hooters. We went to the gym.
Yeah.
So we're driving, and Alan got really red as we're talking. And I was like, are we okay? Because I don't feel like we're okay. And then we cried it out, and we got back. But I think the beauty is our goal forces us to challenge each other.
Yeah.
And this is tying in. Believe it or not, this is all going to tie in.
No,
believe it or not.
I assumed that.
I
believe
honestly, that's a dangerous belief in my current condition. If the people around you do not know your beliefs, they do not know your core values, they do not know your behaviors, and this one more than anyone, they don't know your goals, how do you expect them to be in alignment with you? If you're the person who's afraid to talk about your goals, you're kind of jeffing yourself.
You really are.
Right?
You really are.
Your beliefs, like if it's like a religious belief or whatever, I don't expect you to kind of, come out and tell everybody what you believe. That's fine.
But I would question why you can't. Because if you can't, like, let's say you're a Republican or a Democrat or you believe in God or you don't, if you're afraid to talk about that, I would argue that your environment is suppressing you to some extent.
It's almost like there should be a version 2 of this called the authenticity audit. And how authentic and transparent are you with your beliefs, your core values, your behaviors, and your goals? Because I think it's really, like, Alan knows my goals. You guys know my goals. So anytime, in a weird way, and it might not seem like it from your perspective, anytime you reach out to me and ask me a question, you're actually helping me get closer to my goal.
Yeah.
I get to answer you, show you that I'm a good human being, and thus feel like a better man, thus becoming a better man.
Yep.
Right? So every time I get a chance to coach or I get a chance to talk to you guys, I actually get closer to my goal. But you guys know what my goal is.
Right.
And that's why hiring, like when you hire a coach, first thing they say is, what are your goals?
Yeah.
Because I need to know what you want so I can guide you there. I think that's so important. If your family doesn't know what your goals are, I'm at like dieting.
Yeah.
Right? If you're doing a bodybuilding show, if you're just trying to lose weight, if you're trying to fit into that wedding dress and your family has no idea what your goals are, they might actually take you off track by accident.
Yeah, without even knowing it. When I get on a coaching call, and maybe this is true for you as well, those free coaching calls, by the way, we do this alignment audit. I do. So I was on right.
Oh, excuse me.
I was on a call with Denise. Shout out to Denise. Literally
two shout outs in a row for Denise.
Yeah.
Shout out to Denise
She
part
really
2.
had a big impact on me. That was a really powerful call.
I love it.
And I literally had this written out: goals, behaviors, core values, and beliefs. Now, this was before Kevin realized that energy in your state is actually huge.
Realized or discovered?
Or just, oh my God, you really need some credit today.
Realized.
Discovered.
You realize that the trash needs to get taken out. You discover islands
You discover.
and elements.
1/5. I need everyone to know that 1/5 of the alignment audit is Kevin. Just so everyone
who came
knows.
up with gravity?
Yeah, it was gravity.
Did he realize it, or did he discover it?
He discovered it. He discovered it. So
This is a good one.
yeah, it is. I had goals, behaviors, core values, and beliefs written, and I'm going to tell a very, very quick story. I had a client a while back when I did personal training. And I remember he showed me this physique of a guy. I said, "What's your dream physique?" And he showed me it. And he actually already had this dream physique picked out. I think it was his phone background or in a folder or something. And this guy was jacked. Okay, like
on the
big.
sauce?
Yes, I think so. Yes. And he said, my problem is though, I don't really like weight training. And I remember saying to him, and I said this kind of like with humor and like with kindness, but I was like, well, then forget it. And it's like, we kind of laughed. It's like, honestly, though, imagine if you want that, your goal is to have that physique, and yet you don't like weight training. That's called outside of alignment. You cannot achieve that physique, to my sense of awareness, without weight training. And you would attest to that, too.
I
right?
don't know the physique, but I mean, if it's muscle bound, yeah, most likely.
Yeah, picture Phil Heath.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
And a lot of sauce.
Yeah, exactly.
A lot of steroids for
exactly. Okay, so if you believe that you can achieve Phil Heath's physique without steroids and without weight training, in my opinion, you have low awareness, and therefore you're outside of alignment. It's like you're not going to get that physique doing cardio. That's not how the human body works, right? So the question here, and I'll go back to the call with Denise quickly, I just had her ask herself questions. Where do you have goals, behaviors, core values, or beliefs outside of alignment? It goes deeper. If I show up and I got no sleep last night, I'm like Kevin. Kevin just raised his hand for those of you listening. Maybe Kevin and I have goals, behaviors, core values, and beliefs all in alignment, but maybe he's in an unresourceful state. And if so, maybe he's going to interrupt me a bunch of times for more credit.
I'm in an unresourceful state, but it's a good one.
Yeah, it is.
That's a good one.
You're making it resourceful.
I'm just having a good time.
With your humor.
I'm just here.
But that's the thing, right? So the question for you out there, where do I have a goal that is forcing me into behaviors, core values, and beliefs that maybe I don't have? So, for example, if you have a core value of family and you want to spend a lot of time with your children, but yet your goal forces you to travel all over the world and speak, either you find a way to integrate those things or you're going to always be kind of outside of alignment.
Yeah, I had I'm sure you wouldn't mind me saying this. Devazio, shout out to Devazio, the man, the myth, the legend, just hammering real estate deals.
Yeah.
When him and I first started working together back in the day, he said that he wanted to be who does the braces? Orthodontist.
Oh,
and I said, okay, well, what's your most valued thing? Like movement freedom, money, mastery. And he said, I want to be able to travel. I said, well, do you really want to be an orthodontist who has to go to 6 years of school and then run the practice? And now he's doing real estate. Right? That was one question.
Wow.
And would he have come to that eventually? I'm sure he probably would because he's unreasonably into personal development. But how much time do we save him by just asking that question? That's the first thing. Second thing, we also could turn this into the ambition audit.
Interesting.
You have goals. Do your behaviors, your core values, and specifically your beliefs in terms of whether or not you actually think you can accomplish it, are they in alignment? Because how many people do you know, if you're watching or listening to this, who say this year I'm going to get in the best shape I've ever gotten into.
I know.
And their behaviors do not reflect that at all.
At all. Yep.
Their beliefs do not reflect that at all. I don't know that core values necessarily... Well, yeah, if fitness isn't a core value, you're not going to get in the best shape you've ever been in, most likely. So I feel like these are pretty universal for a lot of things.
So I'm going to actually audit Kevin here real quick.
Oh, boy. 30 seconds, we don't have time. Can't.
33, you can't do it.
No, just,
I know.
but really.
Okay, so what is one goal that you have?
Tell me.
Just period. Give me a goal that you have.
The most successful podcast of all time, not just for a life of freedom for Alan and myself, but to prove to countless others they can have whatever life they're willing to work for.
Fire.
Yeah.
Okay, what is one key behavior that must be present for you to be in alignment with that?
The one that's not happening today, quality podcasting.
Okay, what is a core value that you must embody in order to achieve that goal?
Core value that I must embody. I think selflessness, like I don't want to say empathy.
Yeah.
Empathy. I think we have to make sure that we're doing a good job at understanding where people are coming from, so we can deliver content that's not only usable but able to be received.
Fire.
Empathy.
Okay, what is one belief that you must have in order to achieve that goal?
The one that I struggled with for the longest, I actually can have the most successful podcast of all time, Alan and I. And I think that's why I went there, because in theory, and we're trying to figure out who our listeners are at a deep, deep level. Mm-hmm. And the understanding and the thesis answer that we came to is it's a lot of people who are driven a lot by their emotions, but they have these really big goals.
Exactly.
And if you have these really big goals, a goal without belief is going to remain a goal.
I know.
And a goal with belief is going to start a journey. And I think it's our job to make sure that you guys start the journey, but it's your job to check in on whether or not you actually believe you can get it.
I have one more question.
Absolutely.
What is one state that caused you to be outside of alignment with that goal?
I would say insecurity, probably. Insecurity is the one I battle with.
An insecure state?
Yeah, I would say like... I know early on in the masterminds, like when we were doing, it was COVID still, or there still is COVID, but when you and I were remote, we were starting to do masterminds, like, oh, I'm doing it from Zoom, you're doing it from Zoom, we'd never done it before. I know that those were pretty stressful, so I think there were some times afterwards where I wasn't the most kind, I would say. But that's, for me, it's either insecurity or I think like lack of awareness in the other person, when it's like, I don't feel like I know better. I kind of know that I know better, but I might not. Like, just because I think I know better doesn't mean I actually do.
Right.
You know, so doing a better job of saying, like, maybe asking questions. And
what's interesting is that state was outside of alignment with the core value of empathy.
Yes.
And it's like, okay, so last thing I'll say here, and this is like such a powerful wrap-up that just came to me. Hyperconsciousness is not about being perfect.
No.
It's about being in alignment, but when you're not, being aware that you're not and getting back. It's not about not falling off. It's about how quickly you can get back on.
Yeah, you'll, like, in a theory, you'll never be the best version of yourself, but you kind of can be every day.
Right.
In a weird way.
Yeah.
And that's why we always say, what would the best version of Alan do? What would the best version of Kevin do? It's literally like you're building this thing, and every day you get to, like, shine it up a little bit. You get to, like, get rid of a little drag. You get to every day.
Or you're letting the storms knock it down.
Jeffin.
Yeah, either that or you're Jeffin.
If you're Jeffin on your podcast, Jeff here has
transitions.
Not bad, right? Free 30-minute consultations. If you're looking to grow, scale, or monetize your show, we have done 420 episodes at this point, and we have literally built a business around our podcast, so I would love to help you. Again, I'm not going to sell you on anything. My goal is to change the way you think of podcasting. Honestly, it's to change your beliefs. It's to change your core values around podcasting, your behaviors, and your goals.
Ready? I believe that you should attend one of our masterminds every Monday at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I believe that it is in alignment with your core values of personal development.
It is, for sure.
I believe that it will help you have better behaviors and set bigger goals and be in a more resourceful state. You should do that.
You should do that.
Yeah.
I don't think that there's anybody giving out free content, as much free content as we do.
Right.
Like, we want to change your lives. That is our goal. And it's happening, and it's the most amazing thing in the world. And we do not have, and I say this in the masterminds, we don't have fans, we have family, and you guys are the best. Anything else in closing? I'll tell them about the next episode before we go.
Yeah, we should do that. 10-second blip?
10-second blip. Oh, boy. I don't know, man.
Wow. That was profound.
I don't know. It's hard to sum this up. I would say I would go back to, if the people in your life don't know what you stand for, it's going to be hard for them to stand with you.
Ooh. Wow.
I'm telling you, I have some.
That was a good one.
I have something
You're going to
special
write that one down, man.
I will.
Guarantee
I will
you
write
forget
that down. I already have forgotten it.
Yeah. He's forgotten more than I know. My 10-second blip was fire before that, but I don't know if I can follow that. Okay.
You shouldn't let me go first, man.
Mine is, there is no good or bad, right or wrong. There is in alignment or not with who you aspire to be.
Mine was better.
Yeah.
No, that was good. So up next, we are going... So Alan and I have been talking a lot about our past, other people's past. And understanding that just because it was quote unquote normal for you doesn't mean it is quote unquote normal.
Right.
I actually talk about that a lot with relationships.
Yeah.
Right. I had somebody reach out to me a while ago. It's interesting. I actually talked to this girl, like we dated for a short bit, and then she reached out to ask me about her current relationship. And it was like, wow, it comes full circle. Interesting. And she was asking about, like, I don't know if this person is the person I want to be with, blah, blah, blah. And I said, just because this relationship is the best it's ever been,
Yeah.
doesn't mean it's the best it could ever be.
Right.
Just because you grew up in this situation doesn't mean it's normal. Just because it's normal to you doesn't mean it's normal behavior.
Right.
Core values, beliefs, right? Like, just because it's normal to you doesn't mean it is.
Exactly.
So we're going to talk about that. We haven't recorded it yet, so I can't tell you how it went, but it's going to be fire.
It's going to be great. If you're out there right now, you have a normal that's not normal to us.
For sure.
And we have a normal that's not normal to you. The question isn't whether or not something is normal. It's whether or not you want it to be. You know, I remember Matt Ryan, shout out to Matt. He said, let's make this normal.
You did say that.
And that's powerful because as long as you choose hyperconsciously, I'm just putting "ly" on the end of every word and just making it a word.
I like it.
Hyperconsciously.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's fire.
That's a word. You done?
I'm excited for the next one.
I'm excited as well.
Okay, perfect.
All right, here we go. Ladies and gentlemen, we hope you enjoyed this. We are giggly and silly, but at the end of the day, this is a very important concept that we just kind of
Stumbled upon.
I created, I guess.
Yeah.
you could say, but I mean,
Discovered.
Nobody will ever get credit for that. We hope you enjoyed this, and we will talk to you on Friday.
Talk to you soon.
Bye.